move. It was Benjamin St. Juste. Benjamin St. Juste, 2 years, $10 million. Kind of leaky, to be completely honest. I think he was all right. I think he was okay when he played for the Rams. I don't think he was any good when he played for the Commanders. So I can't really sit here and tell you guys that I think this is a good signing at this exact moment. Wow, I can see that we're live on YouTube now. What's up, YouTube people? Sorry if I missed any of your comments for a long period of time there because I don't know. I'm still figuring out on a multi-stream. All right, I'm one guy. Give me a break. Anyways, yeah, the rest about the Green Bay Packers as we move forward into the next rankings. They got Zaire Franklin. I think that was a good trade. They paid basically nothing for him, and they also retained Sean Ryan, one of their offensive tackles, who's also played guard for them. I think that was another good signing for them. A couple other signings that they got. Chris Brooks is probably the biggest name in that whole thing. What do I give them for a grade? Not very high. Honestly, I'm going to give them a D so far. Guys, let me catch up on some comments with you guys here. Ethan, you are right. The Browns are stacking their line after clearing everything. Kevin, what is up, dude? Thank you for following. Yes, Steelers Nation, let's go. Since Kyler has years left and Rodgers is 42, you'd rather have him. Okay, Matt, I feel that, bro. I mean, it is getting a younger guy. You're putting him in a competition with Will Howard. I see you talking about that a little bit there in the comments as well. And yes, I don't think that Mason Rudolph can be anything for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think you and I are kind of on the same page. I don't know if I want Kyler or Aaron Rodgers more, though. I think both are kind of a bridge player for who may be the next one. So is it just give it to Will Howard and see, or do we bring one of these guys back to play with these two wide receivers that we have now? Crawdaddy, I'm with you, son. How about that, dog? That's my boy Crawdaddy. He is a fellow Panther fan, and yeah, dog. We got him. We got a great list of people on defense in the offseason so far. Glad you're here, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Next one comes from Cadison. In all honesty, first-round corner, D-line, linebacker are our main worries. He's talking about the Buccaneers. I could see cornerback being something you guys can fill in the second round, too. There's a lot of really good cornerbacks here. A lot of good linebackers in the second and third round as well. So maybe in the first round, kind of like we were saying, best available, because you'll be able to acquire those guys. Maybe in the second, third rounds there. Can someone please take Sauce from us? Oh, no. He's already trying to get rid of, the Colts fans already trying to get rid of Sauce. Why, bro? New here, Carl. Glad you're here, man. Hope you're having a good day. We cover every NFL team. I'm halfway through my grades. I like to get sidetracked and talk. I may have drank a bunch of espresso before the show. That might not be helping my cause. But, hey, I'm not going to shut up until 8 o'clock, so hang out and deal with it, boys. We're talking football. Is Justin Fields still in the Jets? He is for the time being, Alex. Thanks for being here, man. I agree. Probs take Rogue for one more year. Rodgers for one more year. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's, who is that? Trey, appreciate your comment, man. Glad you and I are kind of on the same page there. Any news about Brian Thomas with the Jags? Yeah, Brian Thomas, it doesn't sound like the Jaguars got any significant offers that they were interested in. Now, the teams that I've heard interested were the Steelers and both New York teams. That's the Jets and the Giants. Giants trying to pair up two LSU wide receivers with Jackson Dart there. Doesn't seem like whatever those teams were offering was what the Jaguars wanted. I'm assuming they at least wanted a second-round pick and maybe a third in the next year or something like that. They were getting conditional fifths, conditional thirds as their potentials. So not really the greatest. Who Lions getting? Caleb, the Lions so far, I don't like the Isaiah Pacheco ad. I think that they go after a left tackle in the draft. When are the Ravens going to do something? Ravens have been doing stuff, Pookie. They've been doing stuff. We talked about the Ravens. I gave them a C grade earlier on in the show. But, I mean, they got John Simpson, and they also traded for Max Crosby. Both huge additions. Leo Chenal just signed with the Commanders. That's big for my boy Terry, who is a Commanders fan. Guys, make sure you're following. Make sure you're smashing a like, a follow, all those things. And make sure you check out the Discord, because we're going to have all that information, like who's going where. Like I said, 15, 20 minutes before it's going to be on your Facebook feed or wherever it may be. Kyler to Minnesota. We will see about Kyler to Minnesota. Bro, what is wild to me is how don't the Chargers get a true number one wide receiver for Herbert. Sports family, I'm kind of with you on that. It always seems like that ever since they did when he got signed, they had Keenan Allen. They had, what's his name? Mike. They had Mike Williams as well. Now they're just recycling these lower-end guys. I think Ladd McConkey's good, but I think he's a wide receiver too. You need to have maybe a DK Metcalf to pair along a Ladd McConkey or something like that. You can't just Maybe they'll go after A.J. Brown. They could still go after A.J. Brown. If there's any team out there that could go after A.J. Brown, it could probably be the Chargers. Excuse me. And the Philadelphia Eagles would like to trade him to the AFC. So that's a high possibility. What grade did I give the Giants? Giants are coming up next, guys. Let's hop back into these. I'm going to burn through a couple more of these. Any Texans news? Not any Texans news so far, Carl. But make sure you're following along because the information comes in as we go. I got all my mods in here, and all of my mods are going to fill me in if anything happens while we're live. The newest thing that I seen before I went live was Tariq Woolen to the Eagles. Love that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Let's get back to the teams we were on, though, because I want to get through every single team for all the fans out there for each one of them. We're on the Houston Texans now, for those of you who are asking. Let's talk about them a little bit shortly. Grade-wise, I love the grade. I'm gonna give them a B plus. It could be almost a minus, and that really depends on what they do the rest of the free agency. I like that they brought back Ed Ingram. I like that they just signed Braden Smith off the Colts today to play right tackle. I think he's going to be crucial to that run game they're going to have with David Montgomery and potentially Woody Marks back there. So I really like that. Other than that, they signed Reed Blankenship, an exciting white. Yeah, I do like that. I think he's fun. I think he's going to be fun to watch in the Texans uniform. Probably a little bit better than the C.J. Gardner-Johnsons and those who played in the past. He'll obviously take over. I think Petrie is now considered a corner. He's basically a nickel back at this point in time. So he'll be playing back there maybe in a strong safety role. We'll see. I do like the signing, though. We're going to give him a B plus in that, right? Also retained Danielle Hunter. And if there was any other big ones, it would have been plugging with Sheldon Rankins in the middle. He played really well for them last season. Also Trent Brown coming back as well. So we'll see. They're trying to retool that offensive line. I think they did a pretty good job so far. Adding that Colts tackle is huge. Adding Braden Smith. I think Braden Smith is a really good football player. So let's see here. I don't get the messages. Your messages are restricted. Oh, man, Kate, that sucks. That sucks, dude. I don't know what. Mateo, what a first day for our Steelers. Mateo, how do you feel about that trade? Do you like the wide receiver we acquired? Cam, do you think Calvin will come back to the Steelers? I think Calvin's weighing his options, and I don't think the Steelers have given him an offer yet because they want to see what's all going on. Do I think he could come back? Yes. There's no link in our bio for the Discord? I'll have to check that as we're going along. That's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate that, LG. I'm pretty sure there's a link in the bio. Check it out. Kyler predictions. I think Kyler goes to the Colts or the Vikings. I don't think the Steelers are first in line for that. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate my mods. My mods are the best. I'm not going to lie. I have some pretty awesome mods. They take care of the things that I can't do because I'm crazy and too caffeinated. Anyways, guys, let's get through the rest of these teams here as we go through the day. We got the Colts. They didn't really do so much that far. They obviously traded away Michael Pittman Jr. to the Pittsburgh Steelers for pennies because they needed to get him off of the salary cap. They re-signed Blake Grupe. I don't necessarily love that. I don't think he's the best kicker in the world. Whatever. That transition tag we talked about earlier in the show is still on Daniel Jones. Alec Pierce got a huge deal. I think he was kind of overpaid. I think he's good, but I think he's kind of overpaid. And then they acquired Arden Key, which when we were talking about that in the Discord that we were talking about a second ago, our Discord, link in the bio, I think. Apparently not. I don't know. Maybe. Arden Key, great player. Great player off the edge. I really do like this signing. I think it's an undervalued signing. Not one that you're really going to hear about. He did get $11 million guaranteed, 2 years, $20 million. So that shows that NFL GMs know that this is a good player. He's going to be an impact for them off the edge. I promise you that. Better than a Quiddy Pay, I promise you. The Jacksonville Jaguars were a topic earlier in the show. We were talking about BTJ a little bit, and I do think BTJ has a chance to be traded, but it has to be for the right price. I think the idea that you have A.J. Brown and you have BTJ kind of sitting out there in the trade block land, it's causing problems on teams to really find a exact amount that these guys are worth, you know what I mean, and come to an agreement on it. So far, Jacksonville Jaguars, they ain't done nothing. Colts grade, by the way, I didn't mention the Colts grade. I'm giving them a C. I think that they overpaid for Alex Pierce. Moving on to that Jags, though. They re-signed 3 guys. Gardecki, he's old. They re-signed Morris. He's a tight end that they use on running plays. And they re-signed a cornerback named Brown, who they use, like, not that much. I mean, he's used, but he's not that great. Anyways, I'm giving them a D-. They're probably one of the worst ones so far. They haven't done anything. They don't have a first-round pick. Travis Hunter missed the whole season. They just lost their defensive captain and Devin Lloyd. Yeah, D- for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Unfortunately, they need to really make some moves, and they don't have any money. What you think about the Bengals free agency so far? We talked about that a minute ago. I gave them a C plus. The reason why I gave them a C plus, they're tight, is because they are trying to fix their problem. They went and got a safety, and they went and got Boye Mayfield. They overpaid for Boye Mayfield, which is why they're not getting a B, and they got a C instead, C plus that is. But they're trying to fix the problem. We'll see what they do in the draft. I think the draft is going to fix the rest of that. They need to spend all of their draft picks on defense. Every single one of them. All of them. Let's go down to the Kansas City Chiefs. We're about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through and halfway through the show today. My caffeine's still kicking. We're still rolling. Anyways, guys, let's dive into the Chiefs. Chiefs, I think, probably one of the better off seasons, right? They acquired Kenneth Walker III. They gave him a 3-year deal with $45 million. It's $28.7 million guaranteed, though. So we'll see how this pans out. Kenneth Walker, honestly, yes, he was a Super Bowl MVP. Yes, he was good as a solo back whenever Charbonnet got injured. But during the season, I mean, like, he was wishy-washy week over week. He wasn't always the best running back, and also he's injury-prone. I do like it. I give that specific signing a B+. They signed a Lohi Gilman as well, who was traded from the Chargers over to the Ravens. Don't like that. I don't like a Lohi Gilman very much. I think he's a decent player, but like he is a cover 2 zone nickelback. He's slow. He hits hard. Those are his two positive attributes. And they also signed Chris Tonga, who plays DT and also is that fullback who comes in on like goal line plays. Travis Kelce obviously coming back as well. I'm giving him a C+. I'm giving him a C+. K9, not my favorite. Cade's saying Teddy Bridgewater to the Lions, so that's where he was prior. I mean, that's a pretty good signing for them coming in as the backup. I think it's the last year for Hendon Hooker. I think he's a free agent now, so he's obviously not the backup. Las Vegas Raiders was the next team I want to talk about, and they literally have done the most, right? I mean, they had millions of dollars, and they spent those millions of dollars. It worked for the Patriots last year. Will it work for the Raiders this year? We're going to find out. First one I want to talk about, traded for Teron Johnson before he hit the free agency. They made sure to acquire him. They did. They've spent nothing on it. I think Teron Johnson's a good player. I think this was a good acquisition. Trade grade, B-. B- for that. But let's dive into what else they grabbed, okay? Grabbing Tyler Linderbaum, huge. Love it. Grabbing 2 first-round picks from Max Crosby. Huge. Love it. They also grabbed Quay Walker, who I love. They grabbed Nakobe Dean, who I love. They got Jalen Naylor. They overpaid. I wanted Jalen Naylor to go to a team and try to get a chance to be a wide receiver, too. But on the Raiders for $12 million a year, $18 million guaranteed, I don't know about that. K9 overpaid Steven on YouTube. I agree with you, Steven, 100%. He was overpaid. I agree with you, man. Overpaid and, like, inconsistent, right? I mean, like, K9, Super Bowl MVP who didn't do very much during the season type of player, in my opinion. Injury prone, too. But giving a grade for the Raiders, okay, filling in 2 key linebacker spots, getting a wide receiver who has a lot of potential, getting Matt Gay a kicker, getting Linderbaum, probably one of the best centers in the league, probably second best center in the league. All great. Teron Johnson, again, great. I don't like the Kwity Paye ad. $32 million guaranteed is pretty high for a guy that's not that great. Are they a playoff team? I see Cade saying that in the chat. I don't know if they're necessarily a playoff team. Are they a 9-7 team? Or a 10-7, I guess now? Yes, I think 10-7 is something that I could see the Raiders getting to this year. I think they're like that friend who, you know, didn't have a job forever, and then you see them at the bar randomly, and they're like, hey, you know, I'm the manager of this company, and I bought a house, and I got a girlfriend. And you're like, oh, dang, you actually did all that stuff you were supposed to do. Dang, oh, sweet. That's the Raiders. So, yeah, I think the Raiders did great. I'm going to give them a grade of probably like an A-. I'm going to give them an A- on that. I think Kwity Paye being overpaid was my big problem with them. I think they could have gone elsewhere or gone with a rookie. There's a lot of edge rushers in this draft. You don't need to be paying Kwity Paye guaranteed $32 million. Also retained a lot of guys. A lot of low-level name guys. One of the guys I did want to mention they retained is Eric Stokes. They're a cornerback, very fast cornerback. I think it'll be a decent year for him as well. Moving into the Chargers, obviously the rivals of the Raiders. They made a couple moves, not a lot of moves, and the moves they made are a little strange, and I'm going to say that because they signed Cole Strange. That's who they brought in as a guard. to replace Zion Johnson. I don't necessarily love that at all. This isn't helping Herbert in any way, shape, or form. They also brought in Charlie Kolar, who is he catches sometimes, but he's a blocking tight end. They give him 3 years there. Probably the best move that they got was Tyler Biadasz. He was originally with the Cowboys, played with the Commanders last year. They released him before free agency started, and now he is with the LA Chargers. I think it's a pretty good signing. He's a pretty good replacement for who they had. Now, everything else, Charlie Kolar, Alec Ingold, this is signing a fullback and a blocking tight end. This makes me feel like they're just going to go full power offense under Hampton. I don't know if I necessarily love that when you have a guy like Herbert on the team. Rico Dowdle, Chase, let's go, bro. Still not a mod. Bruce, I definitely made you a mod. Yo, what's up, dude? Andy says, who do you think Kyler Murray is going to? I think Kyler Murray is probably going to go to the Vikings or the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think he has a chance to come to the Steelers. I wouldn't really necessarily hate it if he did come to the Steelers. Chase, I'm hype about Rico. Thanks for your comment, man. Glad you're here today. Guys, make sure you're checking out the link in the bio. It's our Discord, completely free. You can join, hang out, talk about sports all day long with all of the other Wombo Combo fans. It's a great time. I'm in there. My co-host is in there. He's not there today. I don't know why. But my next... sorry, there was like banging going on. The Los Angeles Rams were the next team I wanted to talk about. I got to get through all of them. How many more we got? We got a few, and I want to get through all of them for you guys before the end of the show today. I only got 18 minutes to do so, so I'm going to start power talking. I'm going to start doing it quickly. Here we go. Anyways, but the next team was the LA Rams, and they haven't really done that much. They went and got Jalen Watson, who was on the Chiefs, and then they traded for Trent McDuffie, who is also on the Chiefs. So they got the Chiefs secondary. I do like that. I think that they were both pretty good, both pretty fast, both pretty good in man. I think these are good additions for the team. They also retained Cameron Crowe and Tyler Higbee. I think those are good contracts as well. Giving them a grade, I'm going to put it right in the middle. They used that later first-round pick to acquire Trent McDuffie, so I am going to give them a flat B. I think these were decent moves. DJ says, should the Seahawks trade Kupp and get a top 10 pick and get Jeremiah Love? DJ, that is not possible. Nobody is going to trade for Cooper Kupp. Zero teams would trade for Cooper Kupp. Zero. Nobody wants him. Next team I'm going to talk about is the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins now. They went and got Malik Willis, cut Tua. I'm just going to give it to you straight. They're an F. They're F. The whole team is an F. Everything about the Miami Dolphins is an F right now. If you're a Miami Dolphins fan, I'm sorry. F. The whole team F. Move the team to another country or something. I don't know. They suck. Kupp is not worth a top 10 pick. I agree with you, Bruce. That's what he's saying in the comments there on TikTok. Next team I wanted to talk about after we get through the F Miami Dolphins is the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings, they went and got James Pierre off the Pittsburgh Steelers. They signed him in free agency, 2 years, $8.5 million. I do like the Vikings moves here. Re-signing Eric Wilson, re-signing Redmond, re-signing Ivan Pace, all I think really big parts of their offense. They also re-signed a guy named Bo Richter. They put him on exclusive rights. I think you're going to see Bo Richter's name a lot more this season. He plays a little bit of edge, a little bit of interior. I do like him a lot. 49ers are going to be coming up pretty soon here. Eric, welcome in. I'm glad you're here today, brother. New England Patriots were the next team I wanted to talk about. Did I give a grade for the Vikings? I don't think I did. Giving them a C+. I think James Pierre is going to be a great man cornerback for them. Austin, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the family, son. Check out the link in the bio. It's our Discord, completely free. New England Patriots, next team on my board. New England Patriots have been spending money over the last 2 years like crazy. And this year, they went ahead and did it again. Elijah Vera Tucker, I think, is an underrated signing for them. They went and got him 3 years, $42 million, up to 48. Elijah Vera Tucker, if he's healthy, he is a great guard. Played for the Jets, played for the the Kansas City Chiefs prior, was traded to the Jets. I think he's a great guard. I think he's going to be great on the Patriots. Romeo Doubs signed this morning. I think this is another great signing. However, 4 years up to $80 million, base is 68 is an overpay. I'm sorry, Patriots fans. I'm sorry, Romeo. That's too much money. He does not play at that amount of money type of football. Let me know what you guys think about the Romeo Doubs contract. 4 years, $68 million. You giving that to him? If you got a Madden team, you giving Romeo Doubs 4 years, $70 million? I'm not. Other signings that they did, they re-signed Tommy DeVito. Whatever. whatever. That's a whatever signing. What am I giving the Patriots for a grade, though? I am going to give them a B+. I think that the guys that they signed, DeMondre Jones, Reggie Gilman, a fullback, Elijah Vera Tucker, who I spoke about shortly, and then Romeo Dubes, all really good players, so I do give them a decent grade. But yeah, Tommy DeVito. Moving into the New Orleans Saints, my boy LG's been waiting for this. He's been helping me mod the show today. What do we got? Like, I mean, we're getting ETN, but we just signed Kamara, like, in the offseason. We got Noah Fant, who I actually do kind of like. I like the Noah Fant edition. I think the Noah Fant edition is a good one. Ethan, what is up, dude? You just missed my Rams take a minute ago. We were just talking about the Rams a couple seconds ago, replacing your whole secondary with the Kansas City secondary. Interesting move. But on the Saints, that's who we're on right now. The Saints, they got David Edwards. He came over from the Buffalo Bills. I like that signing. They got Travis Etienne, a younger Kamara. So sure, this also works out. Cade Ellis, a stout middle linebacker. Love Cade Ellis. They got a punter, and then like I mentioned, they got Noah Fant. I think these are all good signings for a team who is constantly having problems with their cap. I think they did great. They cleared out all the old heads. All the old heads are gone. Well, not all of them, but most of the old ones, the Cam Jordans and the Demario Davises aren't on the team anymore. I am going to give the Saints a high grade. I'm going to give them a B. Not a B+, not a B-, a flat B. I think what they did is good. Getting a new good guard in there. I couldn't get all those G words out. And then getting Travis Etienne, who does technically kind of replace Kamara, or do they go with a 2 running back system? It'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think about that. Etienne, Kamara, do they pair together in an offense? Do you think so? I don't really think that they do. Giovanni, what is up, dude? Why do you think the Vikings only signed one depth corner and nothing else? Money. It's money. They're trying to keep all their money to potentially go after Daniel Jones, brother. I think that is the move. If anybody is going to steal Daniel Jones from the Colts, it will be the Vikings. I promise you. Taking a look at their cap real quick on the Vikings, just because I said that. Let's scroll down. Sitting today, they're at negative $6 million. So that is why. I mean, once they move forward into the new year, once the new year rolls over, it does look like they have $42 million. So once the new year rolls over, maybe they can start getting a contract together for Daniel Jones and potentially steal him. Have I talked about the Chiefs? I sure have. I gave the Chiefs a middle grade. Reason being, I think they overpaid Kenneth Walker. I think that it's an okay signing, but he is not consistent. It's awesome that he is the MVP of the Super Bowl and that he played so well for the Seattle Seahawks in that game. But if you look at Kenneth Walker's tape, he's either... He can be inconsistent, or he can be injured for multiple weeks at a time. Like, the man misses a lot of football. So I think it's a good sign. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for Patrick Mahomes. I think it's good for him. But his health and performance and consistency are going to depend on if that is actually a great signing or not. As of the moment, it's an overpay. Diggs should return to the Vikings. Andy, I like the idea. You mean the same Vikings who released Daniel Jones last season? They didn't release him. They actually signed him off of waivers and then let him go to free agency to acquire a bunch of money as a Colt last season. So, I mean, he doesn't have any hate for them. Definitely doesn't have any hate for him. He is not consistent because he was splitting too much carries. Inconsistent before that, too. I mean, he had a whole year without Charbonnet. That was a good year, and then he started getting injuries. I think the injuries are what make him the most inconsistent, Bruce. I think we can agree in the middle, at least, on that. I think that maybe the inconsistencies do come from the injuries that slow him down and keep him on pace to be a good running back. I do think he's talented. Do I think he is the greatest, though? No. He's the Super Bowl MVP for this season in a year that included none of the greatest quarterbacks in the Final Four. You know what I mean? So, but he did do great. Let's move down and finish up the last teams. I was on the Saints. We're moving into the Giants now. Giants have done a lot. Giants have a new head coach in Harbaugh. The Jets wrote back. Good for him. Chris, I agree. I mean, I don't think he's very good anymore, but Gino, go get your money and return to the team that signed you and thought you were great and then let you fly to the wind, and then you became great, and now you're back. It's a Jets thing to do to re-sign him after he's not good anymore, though, right? Was it the Raiders or Gino? Tell me in the chat. What do you guys think while I'm talking about the Giants here? But the Giants, I'm giving them a very high grade. I really thought that they were going to be the ones to win the Tyler Lindenbaum, auction, but they did not. But they did win the Isaiah Likely bidding, and I do like this signing for them. That gives them 2 good tight ends now. They're going to have Isaiah Likely and Theo Johnson. That means they can have They lost Wandale, but they can go after a wide receiver now in the early bits of this draft, and their offense is going to be loaded. They need some offensive line help, I will agree, but I do like these signings. Let's go over a couple of the other things they did. Getting Tremaine Edmonds, I don't hate this. $23 million guaranteed. They also got Greg Newsome. This was just like a couple hours ago. I think Greg Newsome's a good bridge cornerback. He's younger. I think he's 27, 28 years old, coming from the Browns and getting traded to the Jaguars midseason. This is a new, fresh room for him. He gets $3 million guaranteed, $8 million total on that deal. The one that I don't like is that they signed a Darius Washington. I don't think Darius Washington is a very value pick. Now, they only paid him $3 million, which kind of shows you that he hasn't performed, and that really isn't a big level signing. If I'm giving the Giants a grade here, just because of the retainage of some of the players, their key players that they kept, I'm going to give them probably a C+. It's a decent offseason. You filled in some of the spots. You lost like all your cornerbacks. There's a lot in the draft, though, so there's nothing to be too scared about. You also lost your wide receiver, too, unless you consider Shepard your wide receiver, too, or whoever. Who is it? Who's 19? I can't think of what his name is. But either way, the wide receiver room could use some help. Tight end and Likely, who's a vertical threat, is great. But you need to get another wide receiver down there. Isaiah Hodges is not going to fill that position. That's the one that they retained. But yeah, C grade for them. Let's move into the Jets. A lot of Jets talk in the comments as we go through. Don't you think a little overpaid on Likely? Steven, not really for a tight end. It's 3 years, $40 million. That breaks down to roughly like 12.5, 13.3 really. It's actually 13.3. I don't think that's like too much of an overpay for a tight end. No, not for one that will probably be utilized a lot in the system that they're going after. And plus, his head coach from his former team is there. So there's reasons why he was signed. He's going to be used a lot. So I think he's going to make his money. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be worth those dimes. I can't see your name. I think it's Chris. Chris, thank you so much for following along. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and they also have Jalen Hyatt, but I don't think Jalen Hyatt's really doing that much. Slayton is who I was after. I said Shepard. It was Slayton. Thank you, Bruce. Slayton is who I was after. Yeah, Darius Slayton is not. He's not it. He's not it. So you got to get another wide receiver in that room. Jets are who we were talking about next. Jets, okay signings. I mean, across the board, there's some pretty fun signings. They got Demario Davis. He's going to be new captain of the defense. Probably going to bring in Arvell Reese, right? So Arvell Reese and Demario Davis together. I think that's a good pairing. Gets Arvell Reese, a really solid guy to teach him how to move into the NFL from his previous position. But all the other signings are like, meh. Like Joseph Osai from the Bengals. Okay. He's not great. He's okay. He's not great. David Oyamada. He's like 34. Okay. That doesn't replace anything that you traded away. Kingsley Engambare from the Green Bay Packers. Again, kind of just a fill-in position. You're giving him $8.5 million. Dane Belton moving from the Giants over to the Jets. This is another... The best signing they've gotten, I'm not going to lie, the best signing they got is Nahshon Wright that they got a couple hours ago. Nahshon Wright had a bunch of interceptions, right, for the Bears this season. I think this is literally the best one. They got Andrew Beck. They didn't get Pat Ricard. They got Andrew Beck. Unless you're talking about a different team. They got Andrew Beck as their fullback. Sorry, guys. It's making me do some puzzle to prove that I'm real when I'm clearly here. I don't think I've stopped talking the entire time. How could I not be real? Oh, God, I can't do the puzzle, folks. Did I do it? Oh, yeah, we're back. Cool. Guys on YouTube, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Anyways, let's see here. We were talking... I got sidetracked by the puzzle thing. Anyways, yeah, we were talking about the fullback. Yeah, Giants just got him. Okay, thank you, Steven. Appreciate that. So, yeah, they also brought in the fullback from the Ravens, if I was reading that correctly. Yeah, Pat Ricard. Yeah. So, bringing in some Ravens tools up into the... Giants repertoire. We'll see what they do with those moving into the next season. Giovanni says, if they don't get Jones and get Murray on the minimum, do you think that they will get more free agents? Giovanni, I believe you are talking about, let me make sure I know which team you're talking about. You're talking about the Vikings. Okay. I don't think they're going to get him for a minimum. Thank you, Rach. Love you, girl. I hope you're well. It is nice and warm in Pennsylvania now. Thank God. Yeah, hope you're good. You just got a really good cornerback, Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen just got signed by you guys, but lost a lot. Let me know who your least favorite, Rach. Who's your least favorite person that you lost? Bruce, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Giovanni, I think that they will go after other free agents. I don't think they'll get Kyler for a minimum. They could get Kyler 1 year, maybe like 20, 25 million, 30 million, and then they'd still have 15 million left over to do something. And if they do, they would probably just go after depth secondary pieces, kind of like you and I were talking about how they only went after one guy so far, that being a Pittsburgh Steeler. Did we just sign a tight end? Rach, I'm not sure because I'm live, but the last thing that I seen before I went live is you guys got Tyreek Woolen, and that was somebody that I really was hoping would find a good home because he's a really good football player. I think you guys acquired a great football player. Hendrickson still being available as well. It's because he's asking for so much money, bro. It's because he's playing the game. He wants money. I don't think the Cowboys will give him that money. Giovanni, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the family, son. We just extended Cam Hayward for another year. Okay, cool. I'll take it. I'll take Cam Hayward for another year to play the middle. We got 2 young guys there for the Steelers at DT, and they could still use that tutelage. Mateo, what do you think about that? It sounds like you're a Steeler fan. Do you like it? Next team I'm on, actually. Let me get through these. I only got a couple left, folks. The Jets grade D-. Sign a bunch of bozos. The best thing they did is they got Minkah Fitzpatrick for nothing. They got Minkah Fitzpatrick for nothing. But it also was a record-breaking contract. Mateo, what are you talking about, record-breaking? 2 years, $32 million. I don't know if that's necessarily record-breaking. Not really. I don't know. I don't hate Cam Hayward, so I don't really. A lot of Steeler fans are kind of iffy on Cam Hayward. I am not. I think that he's Cam Hayward. He's great. Eagles, real quickly, only did 2 things so far. Tariq Woolen signed a couple hours ago, up to $15 million on the contract. As low as I think 8 was the low end of it. But he has incentives to make more. Also retained Jordan Davis. This team should be set up as soon as they trade away AJ Brown, probably to the Chargers. Should be set up to be pretty good once again. We'll see. Obviously, they had a lot of falling outs throughout their season, but I think they're going to be able to turn this over, and I think they're going to come back into the season and be probably a 14-3 team. Honestly, I see the Eagles coming back strong. I really do. 1 year, $32 million. Thank you, Mateo. 1 year. Okay. We re-signed Calcaterra. That must be who you guys just got that you were talking about, Rachel, a couple seconds ago about a tight end for the Eagles. Eagles grade, not gonna lie, didn't really need to do a ton of things. Obviously, they lost a lot. They had to. Blankenship, Nakobe Dean is a good for instance on people lost. I mean, they needed to clear up a bit of a roster space. They really did, and they were able to, and they were also able to retain Jordan Davis, giving them a grade of a C+ because nothing that they did was negative. That's my take on them. Strike says, no, Kyler, don't want Smurf behind center. Steelers don't need him. Okay, man. Hey, for me, I'm not necessarily fighting for Kyler to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I'm being for real with you, best bet for me is to take maybe Aaron Rodgers, or maybe just go with Will Howard and draft a Drew Aller and have them battle each other. For instance, Kyler, if he comes here. Not necessarily looking for him to come here, though. Dorito Man says, as a Packer fan coming out, our entire team is leaving. Dude, Dorito fan, a lot of teams are completely dispersing. I don't think you guys are doing that bad, though. This is what happens, though, when you get Micah Parsons and you have all that money on the books. You can't have a million players. You can have a couple good ones and some bad ones that those good ones need to fill in for. That's what happens. Got to fill through the draft now. Pittsburgh Steelers, my team. That's who I have next on the list as we get towards the end of our free agency grades here for the day. First thing, they traded for Michael Pittman Jr. You can see my reaction video on my page. Wasn't necessarily the happiest about it when it happened, but given what happened throughout the rest of the free agency and the money that was given to the wide receivers who were available, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers did the best possible thing that they could by acquiring Michael Pittman for a 6-round swap. They gave up a 6th-round pick and got a 7th in Michael Pittman. And then re-signed with 3 years, $59 million. I can't hate it. I didn't like it when it happened. If my friend Skoog is still in here, she'll tell you she was with me when I was getting the news, and I was pouting like a little child. I wasn't happy, but I'm okay with it now. I think it's probably the best possible move. I think what the Steelers did was smart. Let's see here. Strike says he plays like he's 5'5". Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. If you ask any defensive coordinator if Kyler Murray is a problem for them when they scheme up teams team meetings, they'll say yes. Kyler Murray is still a threat as a quarterback on any team in the NFL. He is very short, and maybe you don't want him because he's a bridge quarterback, and I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Raiders back out on the Crosby trade. No way. The Ravens? Wait, whoa, what? I will Google this with you. You guys got me to Google it. I'll look it up. Live on the show instead of finishing. Just announced 2 minutes ago. Let's see. By Ryan McFadden is the Baltimore Raiders. Oh, this is by the Raiders. Mods, is this real? Confirm for me. Is this real? What's up, everybody who's joining in? Yeah. Shefty did on Twitter. No way. The Ravens are backing out. Is it? I wonder if it's because Max Crosby doesn't want to go there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, we're switching topics. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's what we're talking about now. What do you guys think the reason was? What is the reasoning? Trying to Google it a little bit while I talk to you guys and also get freaking my quarterbacks. Are they nuts? Physical probably. He probably failed his physical. Whoever said that? Dirk, was it? I'm moving the picture around. Dorito Man said that. Dorito Man, you're probably right. When is my Rams come swooping in for Crosby? Oh, Rams fan, I don't think that's happening, fam. We know what they will take. Oh, yeah, we do know what they'll take now, though. No further comment by the Raiders. Wow, this is drama. All right, guys, so what do we think? Do we think he goes to the Cowboys? Do we think he goes to the Cowboys? I think that's the next team that was on the list. Who else was in the mix? We had a couple teams in the mix. It was the Cowboys. Somebody else also offered the same thing, but they were higher picks. Was it it was the Bears. The Bears were in the mix. No, he's not going to come to Pittsburgh, Striker. Unfortunately, that's out of the picture. He was glad the Raiders actually making moves for once, and then he stayed. LOL. Cowboys offered a first and a second. Yeah, I know the Cowboys offered. I think it's also the Bears. The Bears offered something similar as well. He's definitely not coming to Pitt. Thanks, Seth. Guys, welcome in. For any of you, check out the Discord in the bio. It's completely free. It's got a Madden League in it that it is an awesome time. My insiders are in there. My mods are in there. There's all types of things going on, and it's completely free, and you're more than welcome to join. Why did they back out? I don't know. I'm assuming it's the physical. He didn't pass his physical. Commanders send Deron Payne a first and a third. You think? No, bro. They're definitely not going to do that. They're definitely not going to do that. No further comment by the Raiders at this time. Kyler, watch to the Vikings, Gorillas says. We'll see. We'll see. Here, while we're talking about Max Crosby and the breaking news of the Ravens release or, backing out of the trade for Max Crosby, let's, I guess, talk. And I only got a couple teams left to go through on my grades. Guys, react in the comments. I'm going to read all your comments. That's what I do. Join the Discord like my mod Terry says. It is completely free. Then there's there's a whole community in there. It's an awesome time. They're about to advance our Madden League probably right now since it's 8:04 and I ran the show 5 minutes late. So there's plenty of stuff to do in there. We hang out all the time. We watch fights and a football game. Why am I talking like that? Anyways, Steelers grade. Going through what the Steelers did. Jamel Dean, Rico Dowdle re-signed a punter that they cut halfway through the season last season. And then trading for Michael Pittman, as well as re-signing Asante Samuel Jr. and Cole Holcomb. I'm going to give this a B grade. It's a B grade. I think they without a quarterback, you really can't do that much. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really be too, we got a wide receiver. Yeah, great. Who throws them the football? So B grade. Ray and Sketty in a game. Okay, Bruce. Yeah, see, there you go. There's 2 active members of our Discord playing one of the games right now. It's pretty sweet. Guys, check that out as we go through the rest of the show here. Yes, we do know the breaking news. The Ravens have backed out of the trade with Max Crosby. Max Crosby staying on the Raiders for the immediate time being. Probably going to get traded away. Maybe Cowboys, maybe Bears. We'll see in the next couple hours. Crosby back to L.A. You mean L.V., Jewy. Tristan, Oh, yeah, I read that one. What is up, my boy? Scott, one of my super fans. Glad you're here. Viewed from my story. What's up, Haley? Glad you're here. VG says, is it fake news? No, it is not fake news. This is real. This is happening live. Silas, what's up, dude? Yeah, we know. Wombo, what is happening to my pack? Your team has an expensive Micah Parsons, and that is why they're all leaving, fam. That's why. Max Crosby for Jalen Carter? No, I don't think so, Chris. I don't think so. Don't diet. Don't diet. Yeah, I know, bro. That's what we're talking about right now. We were in the middle of our free agency grades, and that news just dropped. Pretty freaking crazy. Striker says, I was hoping A.J. Brown would become a Steeler. And there's a part of my mind that said that would be okay. I really thought he was going to go to the Patriots. Romeo Dobbs now solidifies that he's not. I think Chargers are the next destination that could go after A.J. Brown, guys. Let me know what you think about that. A.J. Brown maybe to the Chargers. I think they're the team that needs a wide receiver the most and has a quarterback. I could think that could be the case. Don't you think the Steelers should have brought back James Pierre? Steven, I do. I think James Pierre is a talented athlete. Also, the cousin of Lamar Jackson. So he has an easy way of getting into his head during our rivalry game. So I do think they were. Ravens fans heated right now. They sure are. Tay Felton, what is up, man? Hope you're doing good. Max Crosby no longer a Raven. Yep, that's what we were talking about. What would you grade Mike Evans to the 49ers? I think it was kind of weird they gave him 3 years and so much money, but I'm going to give that a B- grade. It is bringing in a solid guy. As long as he doesn't, get injured like he did last season, I think that he could be huge. ESPN just dropped it. The Ravens back out of the trade. Just got the notification on my phone. Guys, let's go through the last couple here. Striker, can you see Aller coming to Pittsburgh? I could. He wants to go to the Browns, though. It's where he grew up. That's what he's a fan of. But Steelers, yeah, they're getting a B grade for now. I think they without a quarterback, I mean, none of that stuff matters. So we got to find out who the quarterback is. We were just asked about Mike Evans, and that is the next team I have on my list. This is the San Francisco 49ers. They've made very minimal moves, but they signed an offensive tackle, kind of a low no-name guy. They re-signed him. And they also got Mike Evans. Those are the two big things other than Eddie Pinheiro being locked up as their kicker. I'm going to give him a C grade. They're getting a flat C grade. Mike Evans, older. He's going to be replacing Jawan Jennings, who had the best repertoire with Brock Purdy, their quarterback. So I don't necessarily love that. Hopefully Evans and Purdy can get it together. But yeah, it's a C grade for the 49ers. Grade for the Green Bay. Yeah, I did have a grade for the Green Bay Packers earlier, but it's been so long. But you are one of my super fans, Scott. I will scroll back up for you and take a look. Oh, I gave him, yeah, that's right. I did not give him a very good grade. I gave him a C minus just because I don't think St. Juice is that great. But the trade for Zaire Franklin for basically nothing saved you guys from a failing grade. Did we do Bucks yet? We're actually getting up on the Bucks right now. Okay, glad you're still here, brother. Appreciate your patience. Ravens canceled the trade. Yeah, we know Blake and Daniel. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about a little bit here in the comments. A lot of people talking about it in the comments. Chase, do you see us re-signing Cam means he's a Steeler for life? Yes, Chase, 100%. Not excited about the free agency move so far. C minus. Okay. All right, let's move down into the next team that we had. And our next team, we only got a couple left. Next one was Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks, they have signed nobody so far. They retained Rashid Shaheed, Josh Jobe, Drake Thomas. That's the guy who ended up slamming Jaden Daniels on the ground and dislocating his elbow. They also re-signed George Holani. He's obviously the number 3 back, now becoming the number 2 back. The K9 is gone. And Ty Okada, that is a safety. They tendered him as well. D. They didn't really do anything. They kept Rashid Shaheed and Josh Jobe. Those are the two biggest moves. Josh Jobe played pretty decently. Rashid Shaheed kind of a one-trick pony, to be completely honest. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kate. They were the next one. We only got a few left here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kenneth Gainwell, Alex Anzalone. I love Alex Anzalone. I think he's great. Man, I wish my phone would stop. It's literally my co-host who is texting me. Bro. Anyways, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kenneth Gainwell, Alex Anzalone, and they retain Cade Otton. I think they should go after Sadiq in the draft with their pick. What do I think of the grade? I think it's an okay grade because Kenneth Gainwell is going to play great as a pass catcher out of the backfield for Baker Mayfield. Gonna give them a C plus. Haven't done a lot. We need to see more. Definitely need a cornerback like our boy Cade said in the comments a little bit earlier. My dream scenario for this draft is trade Queen and move up to take Styles. Seth, that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen. NorCal Girl Dad, I seen it, brother. I'm very happy as a Steeler fan. Cade, what do you think? I think that's about fair for you right now, man. C plus. I like Kenneth Gainwell. I like Alexander Zalone. I really think that there needs to be more movement, though. Last couple teams here. We got two left here for you today, guys. Tennessee Titans first on those last two. They got Wan'Dale Robinson, John Franklin Myers, Alontae Taylor, Cordero Flott, Bellinger. Basically, a bunch of Giants have come over to the Titans. Do I love it? I don't know. Mitchell Trubisky. I'm mid on this. I like Wan'Dale. I like Franklin Myers. I like Alontae Taylor, and I like Flott. I think those are all good pickups, and I kind of like Bellinger as well. I think he's a decent player to have as a dump down catcher. So what am I giving them for a grade? C, flat C. Hopefully Wan'Dale can do something for him, and John Franklin Myers plays well alongside Simmons. Hopefully that is the move, but they're getting a C. Bengals need to trade for Crosby ASAP. Don't think that's happening. Oh, Hendrickson to the pack, possibly. Scott, we shall see. And yeah, guys, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this trade back out. That has been the latest news as we've been going through this show today. Joey, this has blessed my day as a Steeler fan. Joey, same, brother. Bye, Max. Have fun not being here. We're very happy about it because our non-existent quarterback cannot get sacked by you now. It sounded weird, didn't it? Last team for the day, guys. Washington Commanders, my boy Terry's team. Any of you guys down in D.C. area, you're up. Thank you for being patient. You're last on the list, but we've got it for you here. Washington Commanders, Odafe Oweh, love it. Tim Settle coming back, love it. Meek Robertson, good zone cornerback. Can't say the healthiest. Mid. Retainage. Both Laramie Tunzel and Wiley and Nick Allegretti. This offensive line wasn't great. Why are we bringing them all back? Mariota's coming back. I like that. Tressway coming back. Sure, that's like their Pro Bowl or best player that they resigned, to be completely honest. And Treylon Burks also re-signed. Shy Tuttle, Dedrick Wise, sure, okay. Basically, they kept their whole fronts, their offensive and defensive fronts. Everybody stayed. Odafe Oweh coming in. Good edge rusher. I do like this signing. 4 years, $100 million, though. 68 guaranteed. That's a lot. That's a lot for Odafe Oweh. I could have seen 3 years, like 3 years total, $60 million with like 40 guaranteed maybe. I don't know. It's still not a bad signing. I like Odafe Oweh. I think he's going to get to the quarterback a lot for the Commanders. I think he's, they got rid of Sweat a couple years ago and haven't really had that pass rush. I think that he's going to be able to bring that to that team. What grade do I give them? Honestly, with the retainage and the additions being pretty good defensive ones with a defensive head coach being there, I'm going to give them a C+, almost B-, to be completely honest. I think they did pretty good this offseason. What do we got here? Apparently Max Crosby, we're talking about Too Quicken. He is out. He is not coming to the Ravens. I'm very happy about it. No trade. No Ravens-Raiders trade. That is off. Crosby is off the table. He is not going to the Ravens. Thank God, as a Steeler fans. Guys, I went 15 minutes past the show today. Do me a favor. Smash a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, smash a subscribe. Help me share the podcast. Guys, we're live every single Tuesday, 7 p.m., talking football every single week. Next week, we're obviously going to be talking more free agency, but also we're going to start, if you're a Madden fan, we're going to be going out there and we're going to start on screen trying to build the 2027 Madden roster ahead of time. And then we're going to put it on the internet for everybody to have and use in advance. So that's something we're going to be working on next week, something fun. Maybe you guys can join along with me as we do that. It's supposed to be interactive. We can all do it together. Steve, appreciate you for liking the live. Guys, all of you, I really appreciate you guys for being here today. Make sure you're smashing a follow. You can follow along. Check out the Discord. Links in the bio. Everything is free. We have free Madden leagues, free fantasy football leagues, up-to-date information on everything NFL. I tell you, we got it all. It is a great place to be. I'm glad that you guys were here with me for the show today. The Ravens aren't getting Max Crosby, which is just a cherry on top to this show today. Guys, I hope you have a great week. Get outside, touch some grass, get some sun. And we'll see you next week, next Tuesday. Until then, peace out. YouTube, guys, glad you were here. I don't even know if the full episode made it on. It might have, but it's our first episode back here on YouTube. Guys, slap a follow. We're everything football. Check out our Discord. Link is in the bio. We're a fun, interactive football podcast. We want you to be a part of it. Till next time, peace out.